So in this video, I'm going to show you how you make YouTube videos using nothing but your phone. How to edit videos, film videos on YouTube using your phone first as a good foundation, then spend thousands of dollars on a fancy big full frame camera and not understand the basics of how to use and edit videos and film videos. So I'll show you what my top 3 to 5 tips are when it comes to using your phone to film YouTube videos. So if you want to use your phone to film YouTube videos or videos for your website, your personal brand, your Facebook, you have to understand that most smartphones nowadays, if you buy it after 2014, they usually have 2 cameras. First, they have the front-facing camera, which you are currently seeing. And the front-facing camera is good for selfies and vlog type of videos where you can be like, hey guys, I'm here in my garage. It's all about knowledge and putting wealth into the world. But you can also understand, you have to, I guess the important things of understanding that if you want higher quality videos and you want to use your camera, then you want to just hit this. If you're an Android user or if you're iPhone, you want to use your rear view camera. Your rear view camera usually has much higher quality pictures, and believe it or not, some people to the untrained eye might not be able to differentiate like DSLR camera and your phone camera, because I'm shooting on a Samsung Galaxy S6 and the rear view camera is actually 16 megapixels and the camera in the front is 2 megapixels. So when you want to film any kind of B-roll or like any kind of more higher quality on your phone, then you want to make sure you want to use the rear view camera rather than the front facing camera. Tip number 2 when it comes to using your phone, your smartphone for videos is, or just anything in general, especially for phones, is you want to make sure you have proper lighting. As you can see here, this is okay lighting because I'm using a DSLR, meaning that its sensor can actually capture more light. But as you can see here on my phone, the lighting isn't that great. Even though I'm using the front-facing camera, you can see that the 2 megapixel sensor is having a hard time actually differentiating and seeing my face, and the background is a little blown out. But I can show you here the benefits of having good lighting. Look at that. Now here is actually good lighting using a phone, believe it or not, my front-facing camera. And all you really need to do is put it right down here. And as you can see, that is pretty damn good lighting. And the quality of your video just skyrocketed just by changing up the lighting. I would say tip number 3 when it comes to using your smartphone, when it comes to any kind of videos that you want to film and you don't want to buy expensive camera, is if you're using a Samsung, I'm not sure for like Apple users, but Samsung itself actually has image stabilization feature. So you want to turn that on your camera. So if your camera allows it, you want to make sure your camera has video stabilization on, because when you're hand holding a camera and you're trying to shoot something, you want to make sure that definitely your hands are going to be shaky. So you want to make sure video stabilization is turned on. If you match and if you turn on your camera's in-body stabilization on top of like moving slowly, for example, what I mean by moving slowly is that you can press record and then you want to hold it like this, okay? And then you want to bend your knees a little and you want to walk into the subject and then walk back. You want to make sure your arms are pretty much do not move, right? They stay next to your waist, and then you want to walk like a duck, essentially, like you're holding a steady cam and you just walk like this. And you just want to make sure your movements are just smooth. Another tip when it comes to using your phone to film content is that you want to make sure that you have some kind of stand or this or this. In a most ideal situation, you buy yourself a smartphone tripod, but if you're on a super budget or you don't want to go out and spend like $100 on a selfie stick or some kind of tripod, then what I recommend is you can pretty much just put your phone anywhere where there's a ledge. And for example, here, I'm using my laptop, and that's a pretty good stable spot to film a vlog or film some kind of talking position where you want to talk directly to your audience. So versus if you're trying to film a vlog and it's shaking, it's like, hey, this is what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna introduce you my brand and my topic, and it's not that pretty. Versus making sure you find a good place to put your camera, a shelf, wherever, make use of where it is. Make sure you're comfortable, and that is how you film a darn video without a tripod. Like, it's not the prettiest looking if you actually from the outside looking in, but you can't really like say it's horrible quality because you're using what you have. So that was my key tips, super beginner tips. If you don't have a camera, you don't want to spend X amount of dollars, but you forget the fact that, hey, wait a minute, I have a smartphone too, and it's actually better than yours. So if you have an iPhone, you have a Samsung, some kind of camera that has even 12 megapixels worth of, and it can record in 1080p, well, guess what? You have the possibility or potential to film YouTube videos using your phone as a good foundation. Because guess what? I didn't have money when I first started to learn how to film videos. So I used my phone, I put it on a shelf, and that is how I learned how to edit. That's how I learned to film stuff. If you don't have a good solid foundation, why would you go out and buy a $10,000 camera and not know how to use it? So I hope that gives you motivation to, if you're really serious about content creation and making videos on the internet, making videos for your Facebook or whatever, then you can always start somewhere. Remember that. My name is Peter, you're watching Broke Visionary Collective. We all start with nothing, but you can always create something.